What's going on, everyone? In this video today, we're going to go over how you can set realistic expectations for yourself so you can achieve all your powerlifting goals and dominate on the platform. So let's get right into the video. Welcome back, my powerlifting people. Thank you for tuning in to another video and checking out my channel. And if you're new to this channel, this is your first video, you don't know who I am, my name is Aaron Kamesi. I'm a powerlifting coach, athlete, referee, and meet director. So I make videos here on the channel to help out those groups of people. In this video today, we're gonna go over how you as a lifter, or if you're a coach working with a lifter, can set realistic expectations for yourself in the sport of powerlifting. Oftentimes lifters and people just in general, when it comes to anything, will just set goals for themselves, just like the first thing that pops in their mind. They'll say, okay, this is my goal, but it's not necessarily a good goal. It doesn't set you up for success. And so that's why oftentimes people do not achieve their goals. So since now it is the new year and a lot of people are now seeing the calendar for powerlifting for both the local level, the national level, and even the international level, is maybe they're going to start setting goals for themselves for this year and what they want to do with these various championships. So we're going to go over in this video how you can set good goals for yourself so you could be the one that achieves your goals while other people may be setting bad goals and they have not ever achieving them this year. And this is something that I learned in school. Maybe you even learned in school, whether you went to school several decades ago or you're going into school now, and it's called setting SMART goals. All right, so SMART is an acronym. You want to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. All right, so starting off with the S, we want to be specific. You just don't want to have a goal saying, okay, I want to get stronger or I want to lose weight. Okay, this is not specific enough. It doesn't give you any information more detailed than just you want to get stronger. Well, what do you consider stronger? How long is it going to take? What if you also lose weight or gain weight while the strength is going up? Is that still a good enough goal for you? Do you feel like you achieved it? So you want to start adding some more specifics to it rather than just saying, I want to get healthy, I want to lose weight, or I want to get stronger. All right, and that's pretty easy in the sport of powerlifting because we compete in a 1 rep max in the squat, bench press, and deadlift. And you can also do mock meets in the gym, or you can actually do an actual competition and get those specific numbers. So instead of saying, oh, I just want to get stronger, you can pick which lift. Say, okay, I want to get stronger in the squat. Then you can pick how much. So you can say, okay, I want to go from a 140 kilogram squat to a 145 kilogram squat. So now we're just taking that idea of I want to get stronger, which maybe it's too broad and you never achieve it and you just forget about the goal. Now we switch to I want to go from a 140 kilo squat to a 145 kilo squat. So you just made it now that much more specific and a higher percentage chance that you're going to achieve it. Next, we want it to be measurable, and we want to, again, make it as specific as possible with those measurements. Again, going back to I just want to get healthy. Well, what do you consider healthy and how are you going to measure whether you are successful at becoming healthy? But now if we put that specific part to it where we say we want to go from a 140 squat to a 145 squat, now we want to figure out how do we want to measure it. So if you hit the 145 kilogram squat in a competition last year, let's say, now you want to measure it by doing a competition this year. So it's the same standards in a competition setting, and then you can compare those two. So now you have the beginning measurement and the ending measurement. In addition, you can make it measurable along the way to make sure that you are on track from that beginning point to that ending point. So for example, something like the squat, you did 140 kilos in a meet last year, you want to do 145 kilos in a meet this year. You can track your estimated 1 rep max each week along the way to see if that estimated 1 rep max is going up, staying the same, or going down. That gives you an active feedback loop of what's happening each week or each month, and you can see if the 1 rep max is trending down from 140 to 135 to 130, then you can see, hey, whatever I'm doing is sending me in the wrong direction for what my goal is. So I need to go in and evaluate everything and see what adjustments I need to make to get myself back on track and get to the 145 kilo squat. All right, next up for the A, we want to be achievable or attainable. All right, it's good to set big goals or high expectations for yourself, but you still want it to be something that is possible for you to actually achieve. That if you actually do the right things, you actually go in and train and improve your technique and get your nutrition, your sleep, and your hydration, everything down, that you can actually achieve that. You don't want to be something where you did everything perfectly right and you still were not able to achieve that goal because it just was not attainable no matter what you did. Then you just kind of feel defeated and you don't want to set new goals going forward. All right, so you want to find that right level where it's not super easy, that you're going to just achieve it really easily, barely even trying, and you don't want it to be so high that no matter what you do, if you do everything perfect, you won't achieve it. You want to find something in the middle where you can actually set yourself up for success. And I'll break down this point more in future videos because we can go really in depth into it. But one of the things you can do is you can go look at your previous meet results and see how fast you're improving. If you're maybe putting on 5 kilos on your squat every year, you don't want to set up a goal where you want to put 30 kilos on your squat this year because it just doesn't fall in line with what you've been doing previously and it might be unattainable. In addition, if you're working with a coach or you know someone who's more experienced in the sport, you can talk to them and say, hey, does this goal seem achievable to you in this amount of time, or you think I'm just pushing it too high? And then actually take in their feedback and make the adjustments if you need to. Another option is to go look at other people that may be the same weight class as you, the same age division as you, maybe similar max as you, or maybe they progressed a little bit further than you, and see how long it took them to hit those goals. How long did it take them to progress? So you can kind of maybe mirror yours to their progress. All right, and for the next one, for R, we want to be relevant. There's different things we can discuss for this section, but the one thing that I want to focus on is that if you have multiple goals, making sure they're relevant to each other and they work together. I know a lot of people have big goals out there, but sometimes people like to just throw in all kinds of goals that are not related to each other all at the same time. So maybe they want to like increase their 1 rep max on squat, bench press, and deadlift, while also like improving their marathon time, while also being in a caloric deficit and losing weight. All right, and trying to focus on all these goals at the same time, focusing on one, the conditioning and the cardio you need to run a marathon, is going to pull away from your 1 rep max. And same thing like being in a caloric deficit and losing weight may pull away from your 1 rep max. And on the flip side, focusing on strength training and building 1 rep max may take away from your conditioning. So these goals are not relevant. They don't necessarily work together, and there's too many things that you're trying to do at one time. So instead, you need to focus on what's your priority, what's your number one goal, what's the big thing that you want to achieve, and then building small goals around that that go with that main goal. So if your main goal is powerlifting to improve your total, then you want to put other goals in there that help that out. So maybe you want to put on more muscle mass. So you set a goal for how much muscle mass you want to put on, or how much body weight you want to put on if you want to move from the 93 kilo class to the 105 kilo class. Or it can even be a goal that you want to like hire a coach to help you along the way to achieve that powerlifting total that you want to achieve. So make sure all your goals are related and relevant and work together to achieve that main goal that you have. All right, and next we have T, which is time bound or time based, which kind of goes with the specific part as well, is that you want to set an endpoint to it. You just don't want it to be like, okay, I want to get stronger whenever, or I just want to put 20 kilos on my squat whenever. You may have some of those all-time goals that you want to do in your career. You say, okay, I want to do a 500-pound bench press before everything is all said and done. And that's fine. You can set that as a long-term, all-time goal. One day I want to hit a 500-pound bench press. But you want to set more goals along the way. And specifically, if you're doing it within a year, you want to try and put a time-based endpoint to it. So you want to say, okay, at this competition, at the national championship, I want to hit this weight for the squat, the 145 kilo squat, or whatever else. If you're doing a local meet or mock meet or something like that, you want to have an endpoint to it, because you just don't want it to go on forever, because then you'll procrastinate and you just keep putting it off and say, okay, I can do it later, I can do it later. When you have that endpoint, it goes together with everything else. It's very specific, it's very measurable, it's something that you can attain in that time, and all your goals are relevant to get you to that goal. And so now you have the plan and you have to achieve it by that time, because that is when you set the endpoint for your goal, and you have to do everything properly along the way to achieve that goal. You can't just keep pushing it off, because the goal, you can do it in 10, 20, or 30 years. All right, and a couple points to just throw in around these SMART goals. One would be, if you want to be smarter, you want to add that E and R. You want to evaluate and review. So one thing that holds people back from achieving their goals or sometimes doing projects is they feel that the first time they do it, it has to be the final draft and it has to be perfect. But when it comes to building your goals and writing everything down, don't worry about that. First, try and set a goal. The goal could even be a wrong one, like we said earlier. You want to lose weight or you want to get stronger. Okay, you put that down. That is your rough draft. Like when you're writing an essay in school, that is your rough draft. Now go through these SMART goals, go through the specific, the measurable, the attainable, everything like that, and see whether the goal fits into all those. If it does not fit into every single category, figure out which ones it doesn't fit in, then go back. Now you evaluated and reviewed it, go back and do it again, add something to it. Okay, getting the stronger is not specific. Let's go. I want to add 5 kilograms on my squat. Then you go through again, you realize, okay, it's not time-based. Okay, I want to add 5 kilograms in my squat in the next 9 months. And you slowly go through this process, and then you finally get your final draft of what your goal is. So don't be afraid to get started. Write something down and then evaluate it, see if it's good. If not, make those adjustments until you get the final draft. All right, next tip I kind of already mentioned before is you can set smaller goals along the way. So if your goal is to all time hit a 500-pound bench press, set smaller goals along the way. If you're only at 315, set the goal you want to get to 365. Set the goal you want to get to the 400-pound barrier. Set the goal you want to get to 465. And then finally, you'll get to that 500-pound barrier, however many years it takes. Same thing if you just want to do your first competition. Okay, you set a longer term goal, maybe this year, next year you want to do your first competition, but set small goals along the way. If you haven't been working out at all, say, okay, this week I just want to go to the gym and work out 2 times. That is your goal for this week. And you set smaller goals. I want to be consistent for this month. I want to, after 3 to 6 months of consistency, hire a coach to help me get to the next level. And then over time, you're going to get to that bigger goal. I did my first little competition competition next year or whatever it ends up being. All right, and another point is that if you have a coach, talk to your coach about these goals. If you don't have a coach, try and find someone, a training partner, a mentor, someone who's been around the sport for a while, and just talk to them about the goal. You don't have to blast out your goal to everyone on social media, but it's good to bounce it off of one person because we may be biased towards ourselves. Oftentimes lifters will think they're way better than they are. They think they can grow a lot faster than they're capable of. They think they have everything in check as far as nutrition and sleep and everything like that. But sometimes they just don't see from the first person perspective. They don't see what's going on, what things they're slacking off on, or how they're not as strong as they think they are, or they're not going to progress as fast as they think they can, because everyone just wants to be the best. Everyone wants to make the qualifying total for nationals. Everyone wants to get on the podium for nationals. Everyone wants to be a world champion, get sponsored and everything like that. But that's just not possible for everyone. And even for all the people that it is possible for, it doesn't mean it's going to happen right now this year. It may take several years for you to become a national champion. It may take several years for you to do an international competition or the Arnold Sports Festival. So having a coach or someone that you can talk to that will be less biased than you are, and they can tell you, that seems like it's a little bit out of reach putting 20 kilos on your squat this year. Maybe you should pull it back to 15. Or maybe they think, maybe that's a little bit too soon for you to do your first competition. If you're having issues with technique and you can't get down to depth and stuff like that, they may tell you, okay, maybe you should wait a little more and make sure you can hit everything to competition standards before you sign up for that first competition. So having someone that you can go to with your goals, and they can give you more of an unbiased feedback on what you have, and you have to have the ability to take in their feedback again. You have to be able to trust someone and listen to them and understand that they have your interest in mind. They're not telling you, oh, this 20 kilo squat is not attainable, go down to 15, just because they hate you and they want to see you squat less. They obviously want to see you squat more. They want to see you do well, and they want to see you achieve your goals. And that's why they're going to help you pick a goal that they know you can achieve. They're not going to try and go with you and just say, yeah, man, you can put 50 kilos on your squat just to see you fail 9 months or 12 months from now. So that's one of the biggest things I see when it comes to powerlifters is they just have in their mind a set way of what they can do. They don't want to listen to their coach or anyone else that's going to tell them something less than that, because they think maybe that coach or someone is trying to like hold them back or something like that. And what happens is the lifter ends up holding themselves back by having that mentality where they just think they're always right, no one else is right, and they're not going to change it in a way. So don't be that kind of lifter. Take in the feedback from other coaches and other friends and mentors and people that have been around lifting longer than you, and that's going to help you pass those lifters that are not doing that. All right, hopefully that video helps you out. If it did, give it a like. If you have a friend that's looking to set their goals for powerlifting this year, you can share this video with them so they can check it out. If you have any questions or you want to bounce any goals off of me, you can always comment those below or contact me through my information in the description. Like I said, I'll have another video coming out in the future, kind of going into this deeper into what's realistic and achievable, looking at some actual data. So we'll go on my computer, look at some actual data of progress and how you can set your goals off of what average progress is. And if you want to learn more about what are the top factors for you to get stronger in the sport of powerlifting, you can check out this video here. Be a good one for you to watch. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.